Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host of the most, as always, Francois878. And today we're going to be doing a general overview for the Silver Grove, which is the third part of the Update 19 series. This update features a new frame, a number of new cosmetics, and new weapons, as well as the first part of the fusion simplification process and a few other things. And it's a pretty big update. I was kind of worried when they announced that they were going to break the War Within into two separate updates, that both updates were going to be lacking content, but I am happy to say that there's a ton of stuff, and I clearly know how to steer my Archwing. The first thing in the update that I want to talk about is Tatiana, and I realize I'm probably not pronouncing that the way that some people would like me to, and I'm sorry, but I don't care. Tatiana has 4 abilities: Spellbound. Enemies fumble their weapons as they are whisked into the air. Nearby allies become immune to status effects. Tribute. Extract an offering from an enemy in the form of a random ability buff. Survivors' attacks are weakened. Lantern. Create a swarm of razor flies that transform an enemy into an irresistible floating beacon, attracting witless comrades and finally exploding. Razor Wing. Shrink down and take flight while razor flies attack nearby enemies. So far, she's interesting. I haven't had a whole lot of time to really play as Tatiana yet. Razor Wing definitely breaks some stuff. I've had instances where I would go into my alt and then come out of it, and I would still be using my Archwing, the fairy Archwing weapons. There were times where I would go into it and come out, and I wouldn't be able to use my melee, because that was the weapon I had equipped when I was a fairy, but I still couldn't use it in my big form. There's just... I kind of saw this coming, and you know, to be fair, DE has never really tried to do anything like this before, so we'll see. So far, I think she's interesting, and I think she's gonna have a lot of interesting things that she can do. She can fill a couple of roles, I believe, and she's just got a unique ability that not really any other frame has. But the way you acquire Tatiana is a brand new quest through the syndicates. You can go over to New Loka and talk to Amarin, the leader, regardless of whether or not you are supporting the New Loka. And you can start the quest to save a sacred forest from the Grenier. I have not started it myself yet, but I'm looking forward to. It seems pretty cool. The next big thing that has been added into the game is glyphs. Now, glyphs are similar to sprays from games like Overwatch. The glyph prism is now in your gear wheel, and you can just throw that in. It's an interesting system. The fan site glyph project hasn't been put into the game yet, so we're still waiting on that. We also got a number of new glyphs that are both premium and not premium that look pretty cool. Glyphs are also now what profile pictures are under. It's kind of an all-encompassing term now. Now, moving on to the new weapons and customizations, there's lots of really cool stuff here. We've got new operator outfits. This is something that I have been waiting on forever. It's about time the operators got into some new fancy duds. We've got the Apoxis Syandana, which is a brand new infested Syandana. I like it. I do like the Iliac Syandana a little bit more still, but that's just because I'm old school and I like the weird little infested wings that come off of it. So, but the weapons that we get in this update are the Sarpa, which is the brand new gunblade. I absolutely love this new gunblade. It is awesome. It's not only does it aesthetically look cool, but function-wise, it's actually slightly better than the Redeemer. I'll do a whole nother video for that. The second weapon we got was the Pox. It goes very well with the Apoxis Cyandana. It is a secondary infested weapon that basically launches gas bombs, similar to Kistana's. And it's really interesting. I'm going to do a whole nother video on that to explain further. We also got a new melee stance, Bullet Dance. That is for gunblades as well, and you can find those in the Void, in the caches, in Sabotage missions. Now, we also got a Raptor 2.0 boss fight. I felt like this was severely underhyped, and maybe that was over the whole Kayla Dathame lukewarm reception. So I didn't even realize this was a thing that was happening until they're like, oh, hey, I read the patch notes, and it's there. I haven't had the chance to dig into it yet, but it's hopefully more interesting than just fighting a bigger Osprey, I would hope. Now, the next big thing on the list is the Fusion Simplification Part 1. Now, obviously, just everyone's fusion cores were converted into Endo, and everyone seems pretty happy with the way that this has worked as far as the conversion. What I'm seeing a lot of frustration with on the Reddit and on the forums is the old fusion core farms, like Hyricon, aren't giving people the appropriate amount of endo. From what I've read, Hyricon is now giving you about 1 level 5 rare fusion core worth of endo instead of what it should be, which is 5 rare fusion cores. Rebecca Ford has commented on this, and she says that it's going to be looked into and the values are going to be corrected. And this was post the first hotfix. So everybody just needs to keep their pants on and calm down. It's going to be looked into. Everyone's freaking out like they're never going to fix it. Guys, chill out. It's going to be okay, I promise. Now, part 2 is coming with treasures, discoverable ancient valuables that can be constructed and converted into high endo quantities, trading of endo in the form of treasures. Very cool. We also have a couple of new augments for Nyx, Nizha, and Atlas. We've got Assimilate, which is absorbs augment. Nyx can move at 50% speed while using absorb, but the area is reduced by half. It's not bad. I'm not sure how much play it will get. I'm going to have to get my hands on it and test it out, but we'll see. That could be very interesting. Nezha is Safeguard for warding Halo. You can now cast on allies for 50% effectiveness. I did kind of see a nerf to this ability coming. I figured being able to throw Warding Halo on allies at full strength might be a little bit too much. So I figured some kind of either time limit or, at 50% effectiveness would be coming. But it still might see some play in certain builds. Atlas, Landslide, augment called Path of Statues. Leave a trail behind for 12 seconds that petrifies enemies for 6 seconds. It might be interesting in landslide builds, but I'm not sure what else we'll see it in. Now, the last bit of big content that was released in the Silver Grove was for Lunaro and for the Conclave. We got a new Lunaro map for the Steel Meridian. It looks pretty cool. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but any new scenery for Lunaro is always a good thing. We've also got some new gameplay mechanics, the Ball Magnet Guard and Passing. Ball Magnet Guard is basically a mechanic that allows the player to, when they have the Lunaro, they can take a few hits before losing possession of the Lunaro. Apparently this was a big complaint that possession changes were too frequent when there was a team battle going on, and it was hard to keep track of the Lunaro. I kind of get that, I kind of don't. We'll see how it works moving forward. Passing now has a dedicated button. It is now defaulted to R, so now you can pass the Lunaro with complete certainty instead of pointing at a teammate and hoping that the Lunaro doesn't fly wildly in another direction. I think that's a good change. I'm looking forward to trying both of these mechanics out. We also got a new penalty and reward system. Basically, the penalty system has been put into place to stop people from rage quitting and quitting the games through other nefarious methods. The game will give you a warning once you've done it once, and after doing it twice, you will receive a 75% experience penalty in Lunaro and the Conclave, and you'll need to complete a certain number of matches to regain your normal status. I think this is a good thing. I think that rage quitters are a problem in every game, so to see this is a good thing. There's also a reward system. If you complete a match where your team is short on people, you will gain a 20% experience and standing boost, as well as a 10% additional for every other game you complete. That is about it for the Silver Grove. It is a surprisingly large content update. I'm going to be doing specific videos on certain items. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.